Hello guys, my name is Infinity Man 777 and today we're gonna review the movie Joker. It's currently on theaters, but I do have to warn you that I will tell various spoilers, pretty much the whole movie, to explain my analysis of it. So, in case you don't want to get spoiled or are planning to go see the movie, please do not watch this video. Alright. So the movie at first looks normal enough. It looks like a normal origin story for a very known comic villain, the Joker. However, it throws a bit of twists and turns in the movie. So it first begins with the story of Arthur Fleck, our main character, and the guy destined to become the Joker. Which is interesting because it's the first time that the persona of the Joker has been given an actual name in the comics. But since in the comics he was never given a specific name, he was just an unknown man that was thrown into the batch of chemicals that turned him into the Joker. So it's interesting to see the physiological aspect of this character. Like, we see Arthur, he's a struggling comedian along with working as a clown, and also at the very beginning of the movie seeing that he has problems because people don't take him seriously in the world. Because right at the beginning, for example, he gets mugged by a bunch of teenagers and beaten up in a street alley after getting a poster of a shop that he was presenting as a clown with. They destroyed it on his face, and yeah, so it's pretty bad, his situation. And then after that, he has to pay for the sign that they broke. And his boss doesn't even believe him about him not breaking the sign. So that is already a very bad part. Also, his coworkers may don't think of him as a normal person. They think of him as weird. They don't enjoy him very much. And at one point, one of them gives him a gun. And he even tells the guy that he shouldn't have a gun, which is interesting because it shows that the persona of the Joker is not fully in Arthur's head. So after that, we see that he lives with his mother, Penny Fleck, because he has to take care of her because apparently she has something that makes him, I don't know, she probably has something similar to Arthur, but I'm not really sure. However, they explain that later in the movie that Arthur's thing, it doesn't have to do with that. So basically, yeah, he lives with his mother. Sorry, he lives with his mother, and then basically he gets the call from his boss asking him for the sign, and then out of anger, he just gets angry because he didn't, obviously he didn't break the sign. It was the kids, those kids that were attacking him at the alley, and then he gets angry. He tries to get his anger out, and then he goes to his psychiatrist, a woman. Yeah, she talks to him about how the government is cutting funds on the social work network, and he can't go to meetings anymore because of it. And he gets mad because he sees that she doesn't listen to him or what he says. So basically, it explains that. Sorry, um, it explains that his life is pretty bad. But then he meets a woman, his one of his next door neighbors, and he falls in love with her because doesn't view him as a freak, as in like the majority of the world. Because unlike him, unlike other people that see him as weird, and for example, there's a scene in the movie where literally a woman just he's like making her kid laugh, being a good person, and then the woman's like, "Get the hell out of my kid, boy!" And he's not doing it because he's bad. He's just trying to be a good person, and that's why Arthur's the transformation between him and the Joker is very interesting because it's not like anything we've seen before. Because normally, the Joker only becomes insane after he gets dropped into those batch of chemicals in the comics. But in this, it shows us that it's an inner thing inside of his head. And then soon after, he while he's doing his job, he gets fired because remember the gun that the guy gave him? Well, he told the guy, his friend told him to take it around in order in case of he having to defend himself. And then the guy told his boss, which got mad at that, but not only that, he then went and accidentally dropped the gun in the middle of a kid's hospital, which wasn't obviously on purpose, and he tried to play it off as a prop of his show. But obviously that doesn't work because his boss is also an asshole. And then he gets fired. And then he's on the train subway. He's sad. And also the thing that I haven't mentioned, he has a disease. He starts off with a disease that makes him laugh uncontrollably. He even has these cards he passes out to people explaining why he's immediately all of a sudden laughing. And then he starts laughing, one of those laugh attacks in the alley, and three guys pull up on him and start beating him up for because of him laughing. And they start beating him up, but at this time Arthur actually revolts against them, and he shoots the three guys. Well, he shoots the first two of them, and then he goes and kills the third one because tries to escape. Then he runs away and hides himself in a dark room. And this is where the first transition of him showing a change in his life. He starts dancing, which is unsettling in the movie, and it's not explained at all why. But I think it might have to do with him like embracing a bit of what just happened and not caring that much because maybe he sees the people as they deserve it because of what they did. And also it probably makes sense because well, it doesn't make sense to dance after literally killing three dudes, but I mean, in this way Arthur is not bad still in the movie. He's not bad at all until like the very end where he literally in a way he can be not bad, but he still is a bad person. But it's not like it's totally his fault. It's more of his brain doing him make him do bad stuff. But this was still in self-defense, so it's not his fault. The guys were the ones who started the fight first against him. But then since he got fired because of the gun in his job, he then gets angry, and then he then tells his mother he's gonna go be a comedian. He's gonna go back to being the comedian, and then he goes to a place, and then oh, by the way, in the he goes and basically he makes jokes, but his laughter gets in the way of his presentation as a comedian, and later on, his favorite TV host Bill Murray in the Bill Murray show. He it basically shows his clip and laughs at it, which makes him angry because right now his mother is at the hospital because after one of the night she got like a heart attack and or something, and because of two detectives asking her questions. And then Arthur, before that, had checked a letter that she was sending to Thomas Wayne because Penny was insisting that Thomas Wayne would help them. But then he reads the letter and finds out he's supposedly Arthur, no, I mean Thomas Wayne's son. So that was a big twist in the movie because nobody was expecting like, oh my god, he's Thomas Wayne's son. And for those of you who don't know who Thomas Wayne is, it's basically Batman's father. Bruce 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 Wayne's father. Yeah, they show that in the movie. He's Bruce Wayne's father, and he goes and intersects um, Thomas in a bathroom after a big clan of people because in the news the report came that person wearing a clown mask or something killed those three men, which all of three of them worked for Wayne Enterprises, for Thomas Wayne. And they the, the Thomas Wayne told other people that they were all clowns for hiding behind masks and killing innocent people. So then people got mad and started taking the clown killer as a mascot as source. They start revolting against the rich people in Gotham. They start wanting to make the changes themselves and turn Gotham into a new place. But at first it wasn't chaotic, right? They were only asking for rights and for people to stop calling them clowns, because that's why they took the clown persona, because they saw a connection with the rich taking pride of the poor and the defenseless. So then Arthur finds out through Thomas Wayne. Thomas Wayne declines it by saying that his mother was sick, and that angers Arthur, and then goes on to tell Arthur that he was adopted. And then he goes to Arkham Asylum, and yeah, it doesn't say specifically it's Arkham Asylum, but it's can be assumed, because usually Arkham Asylum is the place for insane people in the Batman universe, and that's although it's not mentioned by name, it is still probably the area which the state's area for the sick and the pride ones are, is where he visits and goes to find his mother's folder about certain things, and then he steals it and finds out that he is indeed adopted, but also that his mother abused him as a child, and that's why he had brain damage, and thus why he got the laughing impediment in his life. So then he just goes bonkers. And then he kills his mother, which this is when he starts losing all senses of control over his life. But at the same time, he loses that sadness in a way, because he pretty much got vengeance on the person that he believes it was her fault. But Penny is also sick. Let's not forget that. And plus, she's still his mother. So that is pretty messed up, my man. So, but then the revolts start getting worse and worse, and then he um they invite Arthur into the Bill Murray show, which was his dream, and then at this point of the movie, they explain that he has lost control, and then he starts making his hair, painting himself as a clown, and then he starts, since he doesn't have an identity for himself anymore, he starts calling himself, you guessed it, Joker, because that was the saying that Murray said in the show when he was describing how Arthur's act was. So basically, he called himself Joker, and when he went to Murray's show, he went like, "When I go out, can you introduce me as Joker?" So he got introduced as Joker, but then the biggest twist in the movie comes, and is that he was planning in a way to kill himself as his joke in front of an audience, trying to get an impact of people. But when he's in the show, he makes a dramatic entrance. He goes cool and all, and then he gets riled up, and then decides to admit the truth that he killed the three men in Gotham Alley, in the in the train, and basically that basically put him at the world as a killer. And then before he left, he kills Murray as his final joke. And I don't remember the joke he made. He said something about, what does a mentally ill person tell a rich does to a rich guy, and he does what he deserves. And then he shot him because he explained that rich people only laugh at the poor because they don't have what they have, and they don't see themselves in the shoes. And in a way, even if he's insane while saying this, he's technically right, because I mean, sometimes, not always, don't get me wrong, it's not always, but sometimes the rich people do use the poor in their defenseless state. I don't know about this, and if this happens to anyone, I don't know, but it does happen. I mean, it does happen. And so finally the people start riling up and they really start going chaotic against Gotham after what he did live TV, killing Murray. And then they do this connection that I definitely loved this movie. They connected this movie to the death of Batman's parents, something that was never done before because in the comics it's just a random crook who kills them because they're a rich family to steal their stuff. But in this movie, it was actually a rioter from the Joker's scheme of killing the rich because they take pride on making the others look like garbage. And then someone takes that motto and goes find Thomas Wayne. His family is leaving a theater presentation, and they then tells him, "You get what you deserve, bro." I don't want to swear because YouTube might demonetize my video. So he how do I say this? Like he basically offs Batman's parents. And that's an interesting twist because that doesn't happen ever in the comics. That's different. And like the movie producer said, this movie is not based on anything of the comics seen before. And it works. It works pretty good. And in the end, he manages to escape. He leads the denizens, but then gets captured, or at least that's what the movie wants you to think. And this is the most interesting part of this movie, the twists. Because at some points in the movie, what they led us to believe might not be what actually happened. For example, remember the girlfriend I told you Arthur met? Well, at one point in the movie, he gets into her house and she's like scared of him. And this could be just him being in her house without her that maybe unsettles her. But then it shows a bit of the flashbacks that he had with the memories of her, but he's only alone. So it's like there are bits of the story that are only in Arthur's mind, which plays you until the end, in which he's in a, I think Arkham Asylum or something, getting treatment for his insanity. He kills someone, and in the end, he's just running around from the guards. But you never know what's true and what's not. Because, for example, at one point in the movie, like right after the riots and everything, he appears captured in Arkham Asylum. And you don't know if the riots, you know, the part of Batman's parents dying did happen, but you don't know if it was because of Murray's death because you don't even know if he's dead. They never I know the news source say, but that might be just Arthur's mind playing with us because the whole movie is in his perspective of the world. And that's what makes this movie so much different from anything we've seen before. It's so interesting and complex. I mean, it's definitely not an endgame level of superhero movies and stuff like that, but it's definitely a worthy movie of showing this dark, twisted turn of a story, giving us a story of a character who normally has no story. Making it interesting. Maybe seeing him as up to one point as actually a good person. And this is one of the parts that also makes Arthur not a so bad person because think of this. At one point in the movie, when he's at his home, two of his colleagues from work go meet him. And he kills one of them because he was the one who gave him the gun, faulted it to his boss, and caused him to get fired because of him giving him the gun. And he gets mad and he stabs the dude and ends up killing him. However, his other colleague, which didn't do anything, this is actually one of the funnier parts of the movie. I laughed because of how messed up it was. He lets the other guy go, but because he's a short person, a short person, he leaves like the lock of the door too high for him to even reach, so he has to ask Arthur to lead him out. But since he didn't do anything to him, Arthur doesn't kill him because he was the one person who actually never did anything to him. That's not saying he didn't do anything bad or thought of him bad. He just didn't do anything against Arthur. And this is what this movie shows us. He's not a vengeful person. He just gets revenge when he wants on people that do things to him. So I believe this movie definitely has some twists. You should definitely go watch the movie. If you have already watched it again. Honestly, you can analyze a lot of things knowing that maybe some things are real and some things are not. Because that leaves your mind thinking. And that's what makes this movie so catchy. It makes us think what is real and what is imaginary. What is Arthur's mind and what is real. I mean, it could be that his girlfriend doesn't even exist. It could be that she does exist but doesn't date him. Or it could be that she does date him and is just terrified of him at one point. It could also be, for example, that he was always in Arkham Asylum. He imagined the whole thing in his head after his mother abused him as a child and he was left with the brain thing. Or it could be that he's actually out in the world already, and that was the end of the movie. He actually got captured after all the crimes he committed. And let's not forget, this puts a great starting point for the new Batman. Because this is a new reboot of the Batman. And this means that now it makes more sense for him to follow Joker as for him not being only a random crook, but maybe he remembering the person killing his parents with a Joker mask, and then maybe remembering that the riots that were caused by Joker himself because of him killing Murray, because of him doing something bad in the movie by killing the three Wayne Enterprise workers. But yeah, I definitely give this movie uh, an 8.9 out of 10. It's a great movie. You should go watch it, and it will definitely hit your spot. It's really graphic though, and not because it has other things. It's just because of the blood and the violence. Because honestly, a Joker origin story cannot come without its violence, obviously. But the movie really catches you. It's different. It's not just pure on a crazy person doing crazy things all the time. Start with a man, Arthur Fleck, and his evolution into his persona that tries to make justice in his own chaotic way. But yeah, it's a pretty good movie. And also, now that we finished this review, I have an announcement to make. In a few days, we will make some gameplay videos, and we will up. I will up. I will. I live in my brain. I will upload these videos up to YouTube to continue some of the old gameplays I didn't finish or stuff like that. And yeah, it's gonna be real good. I'm trying to find out how to stream still, so maybe the stream will not happen that soon enough. Maybe in 2 weeks. I'm still figuring out how to do everything. However, still go to my Twitch channel. Follow me on Twitch. You don't have to subscribe. I don't even have the subscription thing yet. Um, just be aware that we will stream soon. We will definitely stream. I will definitely do it. I will get everything working. And I'll do my first stream. Maybe this week, next week. Who knows? I'm busy with things right now, and yeah, this has been a good review, right? Hopefully it doesn't cut out because I remember last time I tried to record a video. The video got a bit corrupted. In the end, it messed up the voices, and yeah, I did. It wasn't on purpose. Don't get me wrong. I tried to get it. I tried to upload the thing 4 different times, and maybe that's why it got corrupted. But I'm not sure. But yeah, so this has been my review on Joker. Pretty great movie. Everyone should go watch it. If you're the age, though, it can definitely traumatize people. Don't get me wrong. This movie is very graphic and very touching on different subjects on life, things like that. But it's very good. I didn't tell you anything, everything. There's still twists that I didn't tell. I did say the most important ones, but you can still go check on the movie if you find anything good for yourself. So yeah, this has been my review on Joker. See you soon, guys, and hopefully you come to the next Infinity Man video.